Everybody loves to say, I wear all the hats in my business like it's some kind of badge of honor. But let me ask you guys, when was the last time that all that actually moved the freaking needle in your business? Here's what they don't tell you when you decide to build a brand. Baby, doing all the things might make you look very productive, but sis, it is killing your momentum. You think you're moving, but really what you're doing is spinning. I mean, look at it. You got all these tabs open for your website, Canva, YouTube tutorial, and that half-finished client proposal that you probably forgot to send out. But guess what? Your bank account still looks the same. And let's be honest, sis, you're just doing entirely too much. And it's really costing you more than just time. It's blocking your growth. It's definitely working on your confidence and not to mention your coin. Guys, if you've been spinning your wheels, overthinking every single freaking move and waking up every day and just pure fatigue, like you're tired before you even get started, you're not being productive. You're really stuck in busy mode. And baby, busy is the enemy of book. I want you guys to keep listening because I'm about to break down exactly what's holding you back and how to simplify your way to success. What's up, tribe? And I want to welcome you back to Raising the Bar podcast, which is the only show where event designers really learn how to stop playing small and build the brand that books and also banks. I'm your girl, Precious Stevens, the Draping Queen. And today, guys, we're getting really about something that's been holding way too many of you guys back and really doing the most with the least results, meaning nothing's really coming in, right? And baby, listen, if you're tired of wearing all of the hats in your business and still wondering why you're not scaling, this one's going to hit home. This episode right here is for the multitaskers, right? The ones that are doing all the things, the perfectionists, baby, the ones who can't figure out why all their effort is still not hitting. We're going to talk about it. So let's dig in. But before we get started, guys, those of you that come to this channel because you know I'm that girl in them draping streets and you know that we probably got classes, but you don't know where and you don't know when. All I need you guys to do is hit this QR code up here. That way you can see what classes we have that's up and coming because we only have 3 for the remainder of the year. And guys, those seats are selling out fast. You know, it's a small environment. I keep my rooms small and I do not want you to miss your opportunity to train with your girl this year in 2025. So go ahead, hit that QR code button and see if one of those dates floats your boat. And I hope to see you guys on the inside. So let's dig in. Now, you guys know how it is when I'm on my podcast. I always love hearing from you guys because I want to make sure, one, that I'm talking to the right people. And 2, I want to see exactly what it is that you guys have going on, just in case if it's some way that I can help you. I want y'all to tell me down in the comments, what is one, like the one that just drives you nuts? One task that's been holding you back and really draining all your energy, but yet you cannot let it go. Like you just feel like you the one that got to do this. I got it. I got it. Whatever that is, guys, I want you to put it down in the comments because believe it or not, you may think that you have to do it and it may be hard for you to let go, but baby, it's draining your energy. And guess what? It is not moving the needle in your business. You need to be in your zone of genius, which clearly is not the thing that you're doing right now. So drop that thing in the comments and let's see how many of you guys got some things in common. Because believe it or not, y'all, you are not by yourself. I remember when I was trying to do all the things, everything. And honestly, guys, this happened more times than one, right? I mean, building a website, editing photos, managing client calls, designing backdrops, recording videos, editing the damn videos, making graphics. Do I need to go on? And at the end of the day, somehow still being able to keep the house clean, be a mom, be a CEO, be a spouse. I mean, all the things, right? Like, sheesh, how do y'all do it? I just remember being so overwhelmed at one time early in my journey. And I just remember one day in particular, it was like a full weekend full of events. And I just remember coming home and I had a coach at that time because I was trying to grow. And I was like, well, why, what's the problem? I wasn't growing to the extent that I thought I should. I was busy all the time, but baby, they was wearing me out. So after this particular weekend, I came home, baby. And my thing was normally when the house is asleep, That is when I would start working on my business, right? So I just remember this day in particular, opening up my laptop, and the only thing I could do is burst into tears. I'm looking around. I'm exhausted, y'all. Not to mention, I still got to work in the morning. And even though I didn't go to midday, the point was I still had to go. And I just remember like the house being super quiet. And normally that's like my zenful space. But I think I felt a sense of something, like everybody sleep and tucked away and nestled. And here I am in this computer, and I'm just looking at all these things I have to do. And the only thing I could do is bust into tears. I swear to God. Like, why is it this hard? I had all of these client messages, and I had work that I had to do from my coach. I didn't plan for the week because I normally try and get ahead of the curve by, making sure the kids' meals are done. At that time, the youngest was my daughter. So just making sure she's good with cheerleading. It just was that day, right? It just felt like everything was piled on. And I'm in this business and I'm trying to grow this business. So clearly I'm doing all the things because I'm trying to hold on to my coin and not really hire help. Guys, I had zero freaking energy to even think straight. I swear I was jealous of everybody in that house at the end of the day. I was drowning in these daggone to-do lists, but guess what? All of the things that I was drowning myself in, none of it was actually helping me grow. And that is when it just was like a light bulb went the freak off, right? It wasn't until I had this epiphany where I really sat there and asked, like, what is my lane? Like, what are the only things that I can do? And then what can be delegated? What could be automated? What could be just dropped altogether? And that was like the very beginning of when I started doing business differently. In general, it still kind of was hard for me to let go of some things, but I kid you not, once I started to let go of things, it kind of trickled. I just started loving to let go of things. There was a shift. I mean, like everything began to change, and I felt like a weight come off of my shoulders. Guys, main thing is just because you can do it all doesn't mean that you should. Come on. Your growth is not in the actual doing. Guys, it's in the delegating. You're the visionary. You're the innovator. You're the leader. And that role does not require burnout. At the end of the day, it really don't have much room for it. All right, so let's get into the meats and potatoes. And let's kick it off with part one, guys. Part one is the myth of the multi-hyphenated queen. I am the this, dot, the dash, dot, the dash, dot, the hyphen, dot, the hyphen. Baby, stop. This has been glorified for entirely too freaking long, being a do-it-all designer. Like, that is played out. I'm trying to tell you. People are hiring specialists and they want specialists. Somewhere along the way, guys, we started confusing over-functioning with excellence. And I get it. I ain't gonna lie, because I was a part of the craziness too. I used to believe that if I could do it, then guess what? I should do it. I wore that whole multitasking badge like it meant it was honor, right? It meant that I was worthy. Baby, where did you do that? It was like this thing of being tired and busy meant that I was actually building, right? Like if I was just exhausted, it meant I was actually doing something. And baby, that is the furthest thing from the freaking truth. Truth be told, that badge was actually covering up fear. And what it was is fear of letting go. Some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Fear of being judged. Fear that if I didn't do everything myself, I wasn't enough. But baby, that mindset, it'll have you looking successful on the gram while you're silently drowning behind the scenes. Trust me, because I know. Guys, at the end of the day, overthinking is not strategy. You know what it is? It's sabotage. I mean, you're really delaying action and actually getting in there and doing things you really should be doing that's going to move the needle. And it's not because you don't know what to do, because there's plenty of people that is in my programs and I tell them exactly what to do, but it's because you're scared that it won't be perfect. And trust me, I know this to be very true. I went through the same exact thing. Now, I don't care that it's perfect. I love done better than perfect. As a matter of fact, I know it will never be perfect. So I don't even strive for that craziness anymore. You over there making busy your identity. And sis, that is not business. And I truly, truly, truly say this with love, guys. You being the CEO and the assistant and the designer and the marketer and the setup crew and the breakdown crew and the follow-up team. Baby, do I need to go on? That's not noble, guys. It's the reason why your growth is stuck on pause. And it's the reason that your bank account is not really reflecting all of this hard work that you so-called putting yourself through, right? You've become the actual bottleneck, and no amount of hustle is going to fix that. I want you to sit down this week, right? I mean, actually sit. Some of the greatest epiphanies come through quiet sitting moments, right? I want you to write out every single task that you handle in your business. And then I want you to highlight only the ones that require you, meaning your voice, your expertise, your presence, right? They're the things that only you can do. No one else can do it. That is going to be your real job description. I'm trying to tell you. That is where you focus, right? Everything else, baby, it needs a system. It needs a template. It needs a VA, or it just needs to be done with altogether. Like, just get rid of it, period. You're busying yourself up for no reason at all. Now, so that takes us straight to part 2, which is the illusion of movement. Now, let's get into the part that's going to really make some of you guys maybe feel a little uncomfortable, because baby, I've been here. Matter of fact, all of these things that I'm sharing with you guys, I've actually been through, and luckily I've been able to overcome them, which is why I'm giving you the skinny, I'm giving you the tea of exactly what I went through and some of the things that actually helped me overcome it and be in this seat that I'm in today. Because at the end of the day, you guys are all that are listening to this podcast, y'all all have the potential to be great. And I mean great beyond you can see. However, it's the performance. It's how you show up. That is what needs some strengthening, right? Because think about it. Have you ever had a day? I mean, it was so packed. You didn't even sit down once. I used to call these my Beyonce days, because it would be days where so much is happening, I would forget to eat. I think that's why I was thin for so long. I don't know how these damn 30 pounds came from, but baby, I would forget to eat. And you know, you're going through all the things, you're forgetting to sit down, you're forgetting to eat. And by the end of it, guess what? You still feel like you ain't getting nothing done. And that's really because being busy is not the same as being productive. Now I focus on the things that I absolutely have to do that mainly moves the needle in my business. And the other stuff, if it get done, great. If not, oh well. But guess where this comes from, guys? This comes from society. And even in this industry, in the draping industry, the events industry, it glorifies the grind. People all up and down the timeline talking about how they flipping this event and how they packing this truck and doing this, and they doing all the things. I mean, even in the content, they're doing all the things. And then y'all wonder why I like sitting behind here. I like teaching. I like educating. Baby, I ain't got time for that. Not at this phase of my life. And at the end of the day, that is something that they talk about it as if it's glamorous. And these guys are my age and even older. I don't want to live my second half that way, right? So now that you think your calendar is full and you flipping these events and things like that every weekend all by yourself, though, your business is moving. No, you still a slave. You just went to a different sector, a different section of it, right? Let me be real with y'all for a minute. You might be moving, and I'm talking to somebody right specific, because this hit home with you, carrying the chairs in the venue, carrying the tables in the venue, then setting it up. And baby, you're doing too much. You might be moving, but guess what you're doing? You're running in circles, right? You're doing all these things. Even you guys that may not be doing all the physical stuff, because I got some people that hide behind that computer and they do all of the admin stuff. You got Canva open. You got 15 tabs on your computer open. You got all this inspiration plastered all over the place, right? You got a to-do list longer than the daggone Red Sea. I'm trying to tell you, but you still ain't make a sale in weeks. That's not momentum, guys. You know what it is? That's noise. And here's the kicker. Most of all that movement is very reactionary. It's not strategic, right? A lot of this stuff can happen because it has to happen, but it can happen in such a more less complex way, right? You're responding to every DM. You switching backdrops out at the last minute because you ain't think them through. You redoing your graphics or whatever the case may be for the 5th freaking time. And you're trying to feel accomplished instead of actually being accomplished. This is what I call the distracted hustle. It looks like work and it feels like progress, but you know what it is doing? It's draining you guys with no freaking return. I used to go through these sessions and I'm doing all the things. I got a notepad, an iPad. I'm taking and I'm even writing on the little Post-its. Like I got to do this. I got to do that. And at the end of the day, none of it is equating to sales. So realistically, how did that become a priority? Let me ask you guys something. When was the last time you actually worked on your client journey so that you can enhance it, so that you can make it better, so that you can make the experience more pleasurable, right? That is how you win clients over. When was the last time you followed up with a warm lead or audited your pricing? And if you're building systems, guys, when is the last time you tweaked your systems? Or do you even have systems, better yet? Guys, and if this stings, I'm trying to tell you, it's because you know deep down that you're doing a lot. You know you're doing too much, but you're not doing what actually moves the needle. That's the thing. And I don't know when you guys are going to see this podcast, but during the month of July, I activated a 30-day Find the Money challenge for my ladies that are in Raising the Bar mentorship. And that challenge was activities that they were given every day. They were given a prompt every day at 9 a.m. of things that they should be doing in their business, right? Things that actually move the needle. And the main goal was for them to get activated and understand what CEO activities are, as opposed to regular admin activities or regular I'm busy at the moment activities, right? And that is really what that was all about. And then the main thing that a lot of them was saying was the accountability was the biggest thing that kind of they've recognized really what you should be doing in your business, and then having that become a habit. Once you are activated as a CEO, you put your CEO hat on, you start doing the task of actually tracking the money, finding the money, things, all that other stuff, baby, you'll delegate that so fast, so quick, and so in a hurry. So I'm gonna give you guys a challenge, right? I want you to just pick one revenue producing activity, and I want you to go all in on it for the next 7 days. These ladies had a different one every day. So in 7 days, they had 7, right? That could be follow-up calls. It could be finally launching a offer, a class, whatever it is that you know you need to release. It could be pitching a collaboration, guys. My ladies were able to accomplish each one of these different things, right? Point is, whatever it is, it has to lead to income. Everything else is background noise. Put the blinders on, get nose deep, hit the ground running on one revenue producing activity for the next week, and watch, one, the amount of clarity you gain, and two, how all that energy start attracting the kind of clientele you want, as well as the income that you desire. And if y'all think I'm lying, don't take my word for it. I'm trying to tell you, my ladies inside Raise Up Mentorship have been crushing it. And this is the exact strategy through our 30-day Find the Money challenge, guys. They've been doing one intentional task per day that they receive from me every morning inside our Slack channel. And I need y'all to realize the importance of one. It's not 5 tasks. It's none of that. It's one actual task. And the results have been wild. Check out what they got to say.
So good today. Yes, it's going to be great. You know, like I said, I made another vineyard connection. It's locally and everything. It's just been, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just been a good day. And I feel better when I say I'm going to make those changes. It's just making me feel so much better that I'm going to make these changes to do this.
That was one thing that I did. I got, I sent out 2 proposals at cost.
Okay.
I got one came back so far that she booked. So she,
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm not feeling bad about my prices anymore.
So wait a minute. This is a booking from your increased price.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember the other night on your call, and I was like, I don't care.
Some kind of return on your investment, boo.
Right. So one confirmed. I'm still waiting for the other one to get back to me. Hopefully, I'm gonna follow up tonight. So hopefully something happened with $2,000. That was a $2,000 invoice.
Yeah.
And I got my $2,000
paid.
I got my $2,000 paid before the event.
Yeah,
so,
that's how you do it. That's how you do it. And it, as they are finally following up on leads that they've been sitting on, or even worse, some of them didn't even have a pipeline. They ended up creating and implementing CRM systems, right? They're reaching out to venues and vendors that they used to feel intimidated by. And best of all, guess what? They're bringing in real revenue and real momentum without all of the freaking chaos, just by simply following a strategy and implementing, right? That's the main thing. Taking the information and doing something with it. Guys, the glow up is so real when you stop spinning your wheels and you really start moving with intention, followed by the right direction. You will be amazed at how your energy shift. You will be amazed at how you start falling in love with your processes and your business and being able to look at it from a different perspective and actually feeling like a CEO. Now, hold up, guys. Before we go any further, I got to say this. If you're listening to this and thinking, Precious, I hear you, but I don't even know where to start, girl. Sis, you are the exact woman that Raising the Bar Mentorship was built for. Inside Raise the Bar, guys, we don't just talk strategy. We walk it out with you. That's the main thing. You'll get monthly coaching along with the weekly calls and access to our full support ecosystem. And this includes our in-house Posh agency. Yes, here at the Posh Academy, we don't just train you. We are in full support of the entire journey. Because what's the point of just giving you the information and letting you run amok? At the end of the day, a lot of people struggle with implementation, and that is where we really thrive with supporting you through it. So yes, that is right. Once you're inside a mentorship, you are not doing this alone, guys. We have a full team that's ready to offload some of the tasks that are keeping you overwhelmed and actually stuck. Don't matter if that's marketing, we got it covered. Automation, we got you. Admin help, systems help, emails, graphics, social media, baby, my team is ready to rock and roll. Main thing you need is clarity and execution to scale, guys. And inside Raising the Bar, guess what? You get both. So if you're tired of trying to figure it all out solo, I need you to stop. Either click this QR code or go down to the link in the description, or simply go to learnpremiumdraping.com/RTB mentorship. I want you to go ahead and enroll today, right? And let's finally get your business moving in the right direction, guys. All right, now let's keep on going. This brings us to part 3. Now, in part 3, guys, we're just going to go ahead and snatch up another freaking myth real quick. And that is that you got to grind till you shine. Baby, that mentality, I need y'all to kill it, because it got you stuck in this whole busy work thing and really calling it growth. And guess what? You're exhausted. You're not effective. You're doing a million little things that feel productive, and none of them are actually getting anything done in your business. Imagine you're in this freaking rowboat, right? And you're paddling, but you're constantly paddling in circles, right? You're sweating, but guess what? You're still in the middle of the damn ocean. That is what happens when you keep doing without any kind of direction. And you tend to think, I'm working so hard, I should be further by now. But sis, movement is not the same as progress. Guys, and I had to learn that the hard way. So don't think I'm being hard on y'all. I used to wake up and do all the things, emails, the graphics, adjusting my website, playing with colors. Oh my God, you name it, I was doing it. And I would be like knee deep in it too. Recording 5 tutorials, then editing the tutorials, then putting the tutorials in our different software program. Like, it was a lot. I'm trying to tell. But being super honest, guys, what was I really doing? I was avoiding the hard things. And the hard things at that time was pitching myself, pricing with confidence, asking for the sale, automating systems. Oh, Lord, systems. Who the hell had systems back then? I didn't. But those were the things that actually made money. But I was hiding behind the tasks that made me feel like I was busy instead of really being bold and going out there and really pitch my business like the CEO that I really wanted to be. And the reason you're stuck is not because you're lazy. It's because you're stuck in a loop of looking productive. And that's where overwhelm actually grows. Guys, you're wearing 15 hats in your business because you're afraid that letting go means that you're losing control. And it's actually the opposite. When you're focused on intentional action, when you give yourself permission to do less, but more strategically, guys, things finally start to shift. You breathe better. You think clearer. And guess what? You finally have time to build instead of just surviving. So now I want y'all to take that to-do list, right? The one y'all was working on earlier, that on the thing, marking the things that only you could do. Now I want you to take another highlighter or another color pen or something like that. And I want you to be super honest. And I want you to go down the list and decide what's actually revenue producing, right? What's moving the needle? If it doesn't lead to visibility, if it doesn't lead to sales, if it doesn't lead to scalability, baby, leave it alone. And don't worry, guys, because I got a bonus tip coming in part 4 that's going to help you clear your plate without dropping the ball. You ready to keep going? Let's get into it. All right, guys, in part 4, we want to talk about why your business feels like a damn fire drill every single day. You are reacting instead of responding. And trust me, I get it. You're building everything on vibes instead of really building it on a system or building it on some kind of foundation, right? And while that may have worked for you when you were just starting out, it's not sustainable for where you're going. I definitely learned this the hard way. I have changed systems, if not every year, at least every few years, because every time I got into something, I would just do what was needed now, right? Like barely getting by, in other words. And then as my business kept hitting these substantial growths or growth spurts, the things I had in place couldn't hold it. So then what I got to do is like I had to start the heck back over at square one. So I'm telling you guys this so that you don't have to do that, because I see it all the time. I see designers posting in panic mode every week because they didn't plan content. I see them scrambling to respond to DMs because they don't have an inquiry process. I see them missing out on leads and money because they still quoting prices manually. Or even worse, they slide in my DMs asking me how to price. Baby, this ain't it. Guys, you got to set your business up for accelerated success and accelerated momentum, right? We just recently launched a rental component to the design studio. Since we've now building all this furniture and inventory for our draping classes, why not go ahead and rent it out while we're not having classes, right? But what did I do? We just went on ahead and posted it without really building an actual booking process, because I just wanted to see if it would move. Baby, I wasn't prepared, because we got so many freaking hits daily that it was ridiculous. Like, who got time to answer those manually? I don't know about y'all, but I don't. And I'm so glad that we have that internal team at the Posh agency, because I immediately had them install an entire inquiry and booking process, right? And just like that, people can now inquire, they can book, they can pay seamlessly, and I ain't got to do anything other than be available when they need to pick up. And realistically, if I have a team member there, I don't even need to be there for that. Point is, your hustle needs some structure, because whatever got you here is not going to get you to that next level. It's not going to get you to the level of ease. It's not going to get you to the level of consistency. And it's damn sure not going to get you to the level of income that you desire. I remember a time in business when I was booming. I was drowning in bookings, right? But guess what? I still was broke. I mean, I had the skill, I had the audience, I had the people coming, I had the referrals, but I didn't have a client intake process. I didn't have a pricing structure. I was just pulling stuff out of thin air, right? I didn't even have an automation set up to follow up with the people that was inquiring. I was doing $1,000 worth of work, but I couldn't tell because everything was all over the place. Guys, once I sat down and really started systemizing the business side of things, a lot was revealed and a lot of things began to shift. Not overnight, but definitely really, really quickly. My income became very predictable, right? Whereas though before, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had money coming in, I had money going out. I had no idea what I thought I would make the next month. I had no idea. There was nothing, no predictions there at all. But when things became predictable, guess what? I stopped resenting my business because it felt more secure. And most importantly, I stopped being the bottleneck. This was how I discovered back in 2023 that we hit the $1 million mark once I was able to see all of my payments actually processed properly. I never had to actually look at it the way I did until I actually got with a financial advisor. And because I was taking money everywhere, I was taking PayPal, not Cash App too much. But point is, I still made a couple grand, a good little pocketbook over on Cash App, right? And I just had money everywhere. I was starting to do the buy now, pay later. So I had the Klarna and the Sezzle and a Firm, and I had the Stripe. Baby, I had money everywhere. It was crazy. And collectively, I had no clue how much money I was really making. I just knew it was a lot. And that was overwhelming because I really couldn't gauge. I really couldn't properly plan. I really couldn't make big purchases like I wanted to because I had no idea really what was happening in the business. And truth be told, a lot of you guys are mainly stuck, not because you're tired, but because you're doing too much. You're tired because you don't have a system to manage it all. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to pick one area in your business this week, right? And I want you to systemize it. Maybe it's your booking process. Maybe it's your onboarding. Maybe it's how you post content. I don't care what it is. I want you to pick an area of your business and I want you to systemize it. Mean document it, streamline it, and stick to it, because structure is actually how you scale. Guys, everything, I think I've probably been doing this since 2023, and even possibly before that, once I really started hiring teams, but I never really knew how to do it effectively until 2023. I document and streamline everything. And I mean, I document it down to it. I don't leave no question or opportunities for you to have a question, because I love delegation, right? And I love delegating to a way or to a degree where you are set up for success. I do not mind taking a couple of hours or whatever it is to build out a SOP, or to build out a process, to build out a task description, to record a video. I will do whatever I need to do to systemize any process in my business, especially if it's something that I don't want to do again. Even if I don't have no one right now to do it, I'm still going to go ahead and systemize it, because I know eventually I will. Once I get tired of doing it enough, I will go and hire somebody for that role. And when I hire them, I don't want to have to do it then. I want to already have the gun loaded, ready to go. Now, sis, if you are sitting here thinking, Precious, I know I need systems, but I don't even know where to start, don't worry. Y'all know I got y'all. This is exactly why I created Raising the Bar Mentorship. Guys, I cannot stress enough how much work I put into this mentorship to make sure collectively and holistically that the ladies and gentlemen that are in that program is supported to the highest degree. Inside the mentorship, guys, you don't just get strategy. Again, you get the support. We walk you through how to build a real business foundation. And because I know the overwhelm is real, we recently attached the Posh agency, which is an in-house component, and we help implement the things you need off your plate. I've worked with so many different people, right? Coaching programs, and I give them the play and they don't do anything with it, and either they end up coming back or now they're frustrated because they didn't make any traction. I no longer wanted that to be a reason. So I know a lot of my ladies and gentlemen don't know tech really too well. And this season of life, because most of them in their 50s and 60s, are they really going to take the time to learn the tech? They ain't. Yeah, and they didn't live and been on this earth and went and had these careers and retired or about to retire. I'm not about to put all that on them at this point in their life. So what do? We tell somebody else to do it. So the main thing, guys, if you're ready to stop spinning your wheels, the only thing I need you to do is just drop ready down in the comments. For one, it tells me that you stayed to the end. And two, it tells me that you're ready to level up. You also can scan this QR code again to learn how to join Raising the Bar and see all of the wonderful perks that you get beyond the support. A lot of you guys love the hands-on masterclasses. Do you know that just by joining Raising the Bar, that grants you a ticket to our in-person class that's held here at the studio? I bet you didn't. Go ahead, click that QR code so you see what else you get in that amazing program. All right, guys, now let's get back to the glow up, because this is going to lead us into part 5, because this next shift right here, it's the one that honestly changed everything for me. It really did. All right, sis, now we at number 5, and we gotta talk about what's really running the show behind the scenes. I'm trying to tell you, that is going to be your confidence. It's not your Canva templates. It's not your booking form. It's not even your pricing. Because let's face it, you can have the prettiest brand, right? You can have the most fire backdrops, the whole system in place. You can have the whole kit and caboodle. But if you keep second guessing yourself, it'll never land the way it's supposed to land. Confidence is not just walking into the room with your shoulders back. You know what I mean? It's all about trusting yourself enough to make the decisions and actually stick to them. It's quoting your price and not blinking. The price is the price, right? It's showing up on live even when the numbers are low. I don't care if it's 2 people on my live. I don't care if it's 1 person that listens to my podcast. They keep on coming out every week. I go live twice a week, every week, right? This is about choosing to lead in your niche without wanting for someone else's to give you permission. Baby, I don't think y'all heard that one. That was a whole nugget right there. Guys, I used to think that I had to earn confidence through bookings, right? But the truth is, I just had to decide to be confident before the bookings even came. And once I did, That's when the clients came, but not just any clients. That's when a different type of client came. That's when I started raising my rates. Nobody had a problem. That's when I stopped looking around the industry. I stopped comparing. I stopped shrinking. And I really started to own my own lane. So let me make it plain to you. Your business cannot grow faster than your belief in it. And your clients can't believe in what you offer if you don't. That actually brings me to something I saw circling around on the internet. And I thought it was so freaking hilarious. Guys, they was in one of them electric cars, or not electric, they was in one of them cars that drive itself, right? And the GPS, I guess it was in a new area or a new neighborhood. And the GPS kept riding in circles. I mean, literally doing freaking donuts. And it kept saying rerouting. Guys, what do you think happened? Would you trust it to get to where you're trying to go? Guys, the people in that freaking vehicle was freaking out. And they was talking to the dispatch people, and the dispatch people couldn't do nothing. Couldn't you imagine? They don't know where they're going to end up. They don't know what the experience is going to be like. That's probably what a lot of your clients experience when your confidence is shaky, right? They feel the hesitation, the uncertainty, and it makes them nervous to even invest. So if the confidence isn't high enough, right? If it's not strong enough, what do we do? Because that is a common issue in the industry. And guys, I'm here to tell y'all, that is when you rely on tools to help you when you don't have the answers, right? You let the tools help you build whatever it is that you don't have. For instance, a lot of you guys struggle with pricing, right? If pricing is an issue for you, don't sit there and try and figure it out and go through all of these trigonometry or whatever. Grab the backdrop pricing calculator. So now you confidently price because you can actually see the math in. When the calculator does its job, you'll feel more confident because now you can see exactly how it came up with that price. Let the calculator do all of the work and you sit back and you connect and you can. I can't stress how much of a lifesaver this calculator has been for so many designers, really tripling their revenue. If you're interested in the calculator, just scan this QR code or go to learnpremiumdraping.com/pricing calculator. It's a game changer, guys. And another easy strategy you could do. You guys see me show proof all the time. And this is real results of people working with me, right? And this is the same strategy that you guys should be doing. This is called evidence-based confidence. If your confidence ain't strong enough right now, baby, reach out and lean on to the people. They confident in what you have. It's not about hyping yourself up. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to show results. Like that is what make people believe, right? Start collecting proof by just documenting your wins. I document my wins all the time. I used to really suck at this because I get testimonials all the time. People will easily slide me something and say how I either motivated that day or they listened to a podcast and they got this win from it, or they implemented this and they got this win from it. Guys, I have a whole freaking album of it. And now I'm much better of actually showing my results, right? This is exactly what I want you to do. You are tracking your progress. I want you to celebrate every single freaking sale. I want you to celebrate every single win. And over time, guess what? You'll begin to realize that you are her or him. You is that girl or guy, right? Because this is the validation. You don't got to sit around and wait for people to say, oh, you've made it. You are out there helping people and not giving yourself credit. Guys, I collect mine in a Google Drive folder, and it's called my aberration album, right? Every time I get a screenshot or something, because I used to really suck at this, but now every time I get some kind of testimony or somebody saying something good about either I sold something or I helped them or something like that, I screenshot it and I put it in its proper folder so it can organize so that my team, they can scan through my podcast and see if I'm talking about something specific. They go right to that folder. If I'm talking about a class, they could go right and pull some footage from a class or a testimonial and bam, they could put it in. If I'm talking about me working one-on-one, they could go right to that folder and pull a testimonial and bam. This is what it's all about. I'm trying to tell you. I want you guys to create your own confidence file, right? I want you to go through your DMs. I want you to go through your emails. I want you to go through your text messages, whatever it is that you have. Anywhere where someone told you you impacted them, you did a nice event, whatever, your level of professionalism was beyond the roof. Guys, if you've delivered and you've showed up, then you definitely need to be tracking that as a part of your proof. Screenshot it, save it. And worst case scenario, guys, sometimes you may even need to read them because that little inner critic, the one that want to be popping out saying you ain't this and you ain't good enough and ain't nobody going to buy this and don't nobody believe in you. Baby, when that little thing start talking too loud, go to your admiration album, go to your confidence file. read them. Every time I'm in my admiration album, tears come to my eyes. If I'm watching some of my footage on YouTube and I'm just looking people and I know what they went through in class and I know the transformation they had and I see them pouring their heart out, even the testimonials, so many of my students are so camera shy. When I know the story behind a student giving me a testimonial and combating their fear of being on camera, but they enjoyed the process and they enjoyed the experience of the class so much they're willing to do, that's the stuff that brings tears to my eyes, because I know what they're going through just to show that they appreciate what they're given, right? So you will be amazed at what you start feeling emotion, how your shoulders start rising once you start reading these files and once you start remembering all the amazing work that y'all do. Also, this is another thing I do. I swear, it'd be so funny. Also read them when you suddenly piss a client off, right? When you suddenly piss them off because you wouldn't be at their every beacon call or you wouldn't give in to some ridiculous request, baby, because guess what? The receipts will silence your doubt. I will go to my receipts so fast and I'm like, just 2 months ago, she loved me to death, had tears in her eyes. That was the best thing since sliced bread. I'm trying to tell you guys, just collect this proof. It's really going to show you all that you do, because a lot of you guys don't give yourself enough credit. And this, I'm trying to tell you, I kid you not, it will definitely be a confidence booster for you. All right, guys, so let's keep it going, because part 4, this is the one that really ties everything together. And it shows you what scaling actually looks like when you do it right. So stay with me. All right, now let's tie everything in, right? Let's wrap this all the way up, because this one right here is where most people get stuck thinking, I need to do more. And what they really need to do is just scale smarter. Because here's the truth. Scaling is not something that you wait to do when things are finally stable. Scaling creates stability. And this is when you do it with strategy. I'm going to tell you what scaling is not, guys. This is what a lot of people think it is. Scaling is not adding more services to your plate just because you're scared of niching down. You don't want to niche down, so you're going to do more. Baby, it's not hiring a VA when you don't got no systems for them to actually follow. A lot of y'all get mad at VAs and y'all get mad at the help and you ain't got nothing for them to go off of. Like, where is the leadership? It's also not launching a new offer every month trying to hit a new mystery number. I'm trying to tell you, sometimes I just be like confused, because one minute you guys are selling this and then straight from nowhere, it'll be a totally different offer and it don't even match the initial offer. And I'm like, where'd that come from? And the only thing people are left to think is that, oh, the previous offer may do well, right? Guys, scaling is when you streamline, simplify, and stack wisely. It's when you stop being the technician, the marketer, the admin, the janitor, and you really start being the CEO. It plays a major difference. So if you really want to scale, you need to start asking different questions. For instance, what can only I do in this business? Meaning nobody else can do it. Also, what tasks can be delegated to someone else so that you can focus on the growth? Also, what offer actually aligns with the future vision? Not right now, not whatever you got going on right now. People will just randomly do things because they got to pay some bills. No, you don't want to base this on your present hustle. I'm trying to tell you, this is definitely something that I had to do, guys. I was running in freaking circles. I was over servicing low ticket clients and I was trying to juggle 15 different offers and wondering why was I burnt out. The moment I sat down and I mapped out my real offer, the entire ladder. And the main thing with that is I started automating the pieces that drained me, right? If it was certain things that I didn't like doing, had to be done, I would automate them. And then I leaned on support. That's how I ended up building the Posh agency, because a lot of things that I was doing and needed help with, that's the same stuff that my ladies need help with. And baby, my business stopped being a job and really started operating like a business. I was able to really pick and choose and turn clients down. Like if they did not fit the mold, I would either turn them down, I would X them out of a program, or whatever was needed for me to keep my sanity and stay in alignment with what and how I wanted my business to actually operate. And this is exactly some of the things that we teach and do inside of Raising the Bar, guys. That's why I talk about it so much, because I'm so passionate about that mentorship, because one, the quality of people that are there, right? These conversations that we have every week are by far some of the most important conversations a person can have in business, right? It's not just about coaching. You get real strategies and direct access to our internal Posh team, not to mention moi. Guys, but the whole thing is that these are the things that's put in place to actually help you implement the very systems that we coach you through. Because let's face it, what's the point in having strategy if you're too overwhelmed to do it? You're not going to do anything with it. So this is what I want y'all to do this week, right? I want you to track your time. I know I kind of told you guys to do a couple things this week, but realistically, if you go back and listen to all of them are in sync with one another. And you can really be doing them all at the same time because they're all tied into you building this awareness of what you need to actually delegate. So I want you to track your time, guys. I used to do this every hour. I just would put, and you can do it with a regular piece of paper. I would just do this with a piece of paper. And then I graduated to just doing this like on a Google Drive spreadsheet. Every hour, I would just write down what it was that I was doing, right? And then I would go back and really pay attention and highlight how much time was spent on growth versus maintenance, right? This is important. You need to see where you're spending your freaking time. And then ask yourself what needs to be systemized or supported so you can finally scale without having all this freaking stress. I'm trying to tell you, since a lot of y'all think you need more hours, you don't. You need better infrastructure. And if you're ready to actually scale with the ease, the clarity, and the confidence, then this is your sign to really get in that room. So we're going to wrap it up with the final segment because I got a word that's really going to shift the way you show up in your business from this day moving forward. I guarantee you. So keep on listening. Okay, guys, I want to leave you with this in part 7 because you got the talent. I tell y'all this all the time. You got the passion. You got the purpose. But none of that means anything if your decisions do not match your destiny. This whole episode, guys, being totally honest, it has nothing to do with calling you out. It's really all about calling you up. Because I see it way too often. I see women doing circles around themselves, being busy, but not being profitable. They wanting to invest in this. They wanting to get into that. But guess what? They can't afford it. Showing up on Instagram every day, but still scared to send that invoice. That don't make sense to me. Attending all of these trainings, but still stuck on the same daggone questions. That don't make sense to me. And then saying things like, I guess I'm just not ready yet. Well, then I guess you're right. Because only you would know. But I beg to differ. Because I do think you're ready. You're just unstructured. And guess what? Structure is what separates the hustlers from the earners. I'm talking about the burnt out bosses from the actual balanced businesswomen. The ones that run around talking about, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that. To the ones that say, I did that. What next? Let me say this loud and clear, y'all. You're not too talented to be broke. You just need the right system. You need the right support. And you need the right strategy that actually fit you. Because this right here, this is not a one size fit all. And that's what Raising the Bar was actually built for. Not for the woman who's trying to do all the things, but for the woman who's ready to do the right things and finally be seen and finally be paid and finally be positioned like the CEO she already is. So I need you guys to take one bold action today that truly aligns with the business you want, not the hustle that you're actually used to. Whether it's enrolling in Raising the Bar, cutting an unnecessary offer, or just simply choosing rest today so you can lead with clarity tomorrow. Because when you move in alignment, guys, guess what? You move with power. Listen, if this episode stirred something in you, good. Because that is the whole point, right? Growth doesn't always feel good, but baby, it's always worth it. And here's what I want you to do. 1, I want you to go back and listen to the segment that hit you the hardest. I want you to make one decision today that reflects the version of you you've been trying to really become. And if you know you've been tired of winging it, trying to figure it all out alone, and want to actually scale your business with guidance and support, join Raising the Bar Mentorship. Because in Raising the Bar, guys, you get the strategy, you get the structure, you get the support, plus you get access to my internal team, the Posh agency, to actually help you implement whatever it is that we coach you on. Not just ideas, y'all, but actual execution. That's the real cheat code. And before you go, I want to hear from y'all. What part of this episode made you say, she talking to me? Drop it in the comments. I'm trying to tell you, I love reading you guys' comments. And don't forget, guys, this platform is for y'all, right? So if there's a topic that you've been wanting me to talk about or a question that you have and have been scared to ask it, don't hold back, y'all. Post it below. We want to make this next quarter your most aligned one yet. We still got a lot of time left in this year for you guys to kill it. And if you haven't already done so, guys, I want y'all to subscribe to this podcast so that you never miss a moment like this again. I'm your girl, Precious Stevens, the Draping Queen. And until next time, I want you guys to remember that anything's possible when staying positive. So keep raising that bar until we meet again. Bye.